palm reading of a particular male. In the first portion of the video, I would be talking about events and timing on lines, and then I would try to describe whatever I find on this particular hand. So, the first thing that we would talk about is the money line, and then we would talk about the sun line. So, the first portion is dedicated to the money line. This is basically the money line. This is the money line. So this portion of the money line, before it touches the headline, this is the headline. This is before the age of 35. And another line starts somewhere at this particular portion. So this particular portion is somewhere close to the intersection of the head and the money line. So this portion is age 35. So the news line starts somewhere close to the age of 33 and it kind of ends before it touches the headline. So the work starts and then again stops somewhere at the age of 35. So between 33 to 35. Then another line starts somewhere close to the headline. So before the age of 34, before the age of 35, somewhere close to the age of probably 34 and a half, new work basically starts, and that too kind of ends before it touches the heart line. And so the timing on the headline when it starts is somewhere close to the age of 35. If it touches the line of heart, if it would have extended, so this age would be 53. So somewhere in the middle, the age is 44. So somewhere close to the age of 44, the money line ends and another one develops. And another one develops somewhere close to. So at the age of 44, two money lines are there, two or three money lines are there. Even these are money lines. So, and apart from that, there's another money line somewhere close to running the main. This is the main money line, and there's a supporting line of money, the line of fate in the initial portion of this particular line. The line is extremely weak. So a weak line doesn't give any result. As it crosses the age of 44, that's when it basically gains in strength and better prospects can be expected. So the portion of the line before the age of 35, this portion is quite deep and clear, but as it approaches the headline, it becomes a little bit dim and weak. So few problems might crop up during that particular period. Now the other aspect is the sun line. This is the sun line. Any line going towards the ring finger is considered to be the sun line. And the timings are similar out here as well. I'm just going to draw the line and just going to explain the events and the age. So this intersection of the sun line and the headline, this age is 35. This portion of the heart line intersection with the sun line is age 53. So this portion is 35 to 53. This portion is before the age of 35 and this portion is after the age of 53. So the line starts somewhere at this particular point. So this particular age is approximately it's going to be around the age of 29-30. That's when it's really good and it is deep and clear. You would notice that the line is deep and clear and singular. So deep singular kind of lines are considered to be good. Somewhere in the middle it basically breaks up, it changes course, same as out here. The money line basically breaks and another one starts. So somewhere at the age of 44 we are finding changes both on the sun line as well as the money line, the fate line, whatever you can call it, or even the Saturn line. Any line going towards the mount of Saturn, the longest finger is the money line, the fate line, or the line of Saturn. So the name can be different, but the meaning remains the same. It talks about the money part. So this portion of the line is good and kind of ends somewhere close to the age of 44. That's when two or three line, there's a trident kind of a thing that is forming, pointing towards a finger. A trident like a formation pointing towards a finger is considered to be a good sign. Although there's a break, but apart from that break, nothing bad is going to happen. Few problems might come up, but in the end, things are going to settle down. Then another line develops somewhere at this particular point, and this basically continues throughout the life. So if this intersection is age 53, so this point is approximately it is age 48. That's when few changes are going to come up, And the line of sun is very deep and clear and singular. So deep, clear, singular lines are considered to be good. It is not necessary to have a long sun line, only then the person is going to be successful. Even a short line, just something like this, can also depict success. It's just that people should not have these dim kind of lines. Dim kind of lines are lines of doubts, and lines of doubts are not considered to be good. It brings about doubts in whatever you do. So doubts basically doesn't give success. So this is basically what I was showing the timings on the line, and now I will try to tell you about the lifeline and how we see money on the lifeline as well. So these upward lines that you see, these upward lines pointing towards a finger, are the luck lines. These lines that you see, these are luck lines. And if it was something opposite, this is the lifeline, and a line was drooping downwards towards the mount of moon, those would have been losses. But upward is always considered to be good lines. It is something is coming in your life, some resources or unlocking of resources or something or the other, and that is considered to be a good sign. And these timings are roughly this is around the age of 40, this is around the age of 45, 50. This is just an approximate. This is just an approximate I will give. So this period is going to be the golden period. This is, if whatever the person basically takes up, things are going to be successful and things are going to be good in his life. Now we talk about another aspect. Now I'm just going towards the description part, but before I go towards the description part, I would just tell you about the headline as well. So this is the headline. So there's a downward line pointing towards the mount of moon. Any line pointing downward is something like gravity is pulling that particular line downwards. If it going upward, it is to pointing towards the sky. That means anti-gravity. It is going against the gravity. So you'd notice both downward as well as upward lines on the headline. So even on the headline, we can talk about success or failure, money or bad portions of the life when things could have been bad. So this is the headline, and there's a downward line. So this intersection of the money and the headline is age 35. So this portion is before the age of 35. So before the age of 35, if it would have been really close, I would have said around the age of 30, 32. So, but this portion of the line is a little bit earlier, probably in late 20s or mid 20s. So this portion of the headline pointing towards the mount of moon is considered to be a negative sign. It is kind of bringing in mental disappointment. So that's a negative aspect. Although in this portion, the line of fate is super. It's perfect. So there's nothing wrong with it. But yet, because of this downward line, there could have been few problems. Now we talk about the upward line. So there's an upward line pointing towards the mount of Mercury. Any line pointing towards the fingers or the Mercury are considered to be good. It signifies some upliftment, some gains, or some triumph, or something you win, or you're gaining in your technical skills, or something or the other good things are happening, and that's taking you upward. So upward lines are lines of success, and specifically if they are pointing towards the mount of Mercury. Mount of Mercury is the smallest finger. This is the headline, and this is going upwards somewhere at the age of 35 and pointing towards the mount of Mercury, the smallest finger. Mercury is the smallest planet, and but it has great significance in our life. So this is the area of your communication skills, technical skills, business skills, all kind of skills. So upward lines in books basically say the writer's folk. Writer is something that you are writing, business writing or something or the other. The person is good at his communication or skill or something or the other. In this case, we also find that there's a money triangle like formation forming with three lines. Money line, the fate line, this is all about money. Then we talk about the Mercury line. Mercury line is the line of skill. A person who has the skills would get money. And this portion of the line is the headline. The whole is the headline, but this portion, we are just looking at this portion. So this portion is somewhere from the age of 35 till the age of probably late 50s. So this portion, if this portion is good, the chances are mental stability is going to be there, and because of mental stability, things are likely to be good. So this money triangle, this is the reason why it is considered to be a good sign to have a money triangle. People should have less lines in between this money triangle, only then things become better. Many people might have this money triangle, but provided they have got less lines inside the money triangle or less lines inside out here this portion, only then it gives result. So the money triangle formation forms somewhere at this particular age. The age at this point on the money line is approximately it's going to be around the age of after the age of 26 or so. That I'm trying to guess. So that's the age I would say. That's when a V like is forming, and V like is forming towards the three finger. This is the finger of money, this is the finger of creativity, art, music, and risk taking. This is the area of your skill. So what is happening is rays or energies are penetrating out here and they are getting accumulated somewhere out here. So accumulation happens somewhere at this particular age, beyond the age of 26, 27. That's when more gains are likely to happen, and gains are going to come to this particular person. Apart from that, you would also notice that this is the area of Mount of Mercury. You have perpendicular lines under it. Books say that if you have got 2, 3, 4 lines under the Mount of Mercury, the person could be a good doctor. But I don't follow the book completely. I just say that if people have got 2, 3, 4 lines, it means the person has got multiple set of skill, and multiple set of skills is considered to be a reasonably good sign. Although everybody, it is not necessary to have too many lines, 4 lines. Only then you're going to be successful. Even people who do not have a single line, even they can be successful. People who have got just one line, they can be successful. It's just that they shouldn't be very thin kind of lines, very thin kind of, they shouldn't be thin kind of lines out here. If they're thin kind of lines, it would mean that the person is not sharpening their skills. Strong lines basically means the person is sharpening their skills, and the person who sharpens their skills, that it's more likelihood that the person is going to gain because of his sharpened skills. And the sharpening of skills is not happening overnight, it is over years and years. So that's what basically it means. And you would notice that this area doesn't have any padding over it. If there was a padding, it would have been much better, because each and every area depicts something or the other. So this is the area of our memory. So greater the amount, the better. The greater the padding, the better it is considered to be. Like it's a storehouse of knowledge. But there's no storehouse, but at the same time there are no bad marking. If there were crisscrossing lines, it would have been a negative aspect. Or if there was a grill-like formation, it would have been a negative aspect. But we don't find those kind of indications out here. We just find perpendicular independent lines. Independent lines are considered to be good because it means that the person communicates in an effective way, and a person who talks in an effective way, the person is likely to gain. So this is what is represented by this particular hand. The head and the lifeline both are, there's a space between, so the person is rash, outgoing, never misses out on opportunities. And the heart line is kind of ending under the mount of Saturn. This is the amount of Saturn, so it means the person is responsible, the person is wise, and money management is there. Although it would have been better if there were less lines on the mount of Saturn. Lesser the lines, the better it is considered to be. Although these perpendicular lines are good, crisscrossing lines are a little bit bad, because Saturn is a very slow moving planet. If there are many lines under or on the mount of Saturn, it would bring about delays and problems and depression, all these kind of things, or teeth related or structure related issues in the body, the structure, the spine. So, or teeth related or hair related, all these kind of things. Now before we move to other hand, there's a circular line under the finger of Jupiter. This is the Jupiter. This is also called the Solomon line. Line is something to do with knowing the future before it actually happens, for himself or for other people as well. The good aspect about the palm, if you take the overall view of the palm, you would notice that the fingers, the bone structure in the fingers and the palm are strong, and the padding out here is reasonably good. So reasonably good padding over the fingers, good skin over the fingers, and the strong bones. Basically, it makes a person rich. Richness doesn't only mean richness in money. Richness can be also in content, and a person who is rich in content, the chances for their success increases because they are rich in content, and they have a better hold over people, money, and resources. It means you require 20 people to do a particular job, but the person gets the job done just by 5 people. So better management of people. A person needs probably, like, if a person just has got 5 lakh rupees in his pocket, 5 million, let's imagine 5 million rupees in his pocket, but he goes on to do something, some work of 20 million. People who have got weak hands, this is not a weak hand, but I'm just explaining to you. If a person has got a weak hand, what's going to happen? That the person may have 100 million rupees in his pocket, but the person is going to be very afraid to do a work even of 5 million. The person has got 100 million, but the person is afraid to do even a work of 5 million. So this is what is basically seen by this particular hand. And we'll just take a brief look at the left hand just briefly. uh, Same, see, both hands show similarities, but in this hand you would notice that there are few branches. This is the heartline. There are few branches out here. Branches over the heartline means flirtatious nature. The person is flirtatious. Flirtatious doesn't just mean flirting in your relationship, it could also mean flirting in your job as well. So it's better to have a simple single line instead of a complicated kind of a line. And there should be breaks also out here in the heartline. Break in the heartline could mean sudden change of your work or sudden abrupt ending of your relationship. So this is what is represented out here. And just briefly, one more thing I need to add out, that this is the heartline and this is the headline. You would notice that there are few lines out here, so horizontal kind of lines out here. See, this area in the middle between the head and the heartline, that is basically the area of that is the area where with the playground of your emotions and your thought process. So the line in between, there should be less lines in the middle. The lesser the lines, the better it is considered to be. So having these lines kind of disturbs the decision making in terms of your in terms of how the thought process and the feelings, when they mingle together, they kind of uh, there's some disturbances in the middle. Although because the headline in itself is good, uh, uh, itself is good, so clarity could be there. So I'm giving mixed signals out here, but whatever I'm seeing, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The mercury line is out here. It's reasonably good. On the mount, it's not so good. It's a little bit dim. If it was a would have been deeper and clearer, it would have been a better sign. The sun line also starts somewhere, what we saw in the right hand, and reasonably okay lines out here. In the left hand as well, this is the headline. There's a downward line, the similar line that we saw on the right hand. There's the line of disappointment, or it could be something like the mind is running very fast, so something to do with that as well. If we zoom in, it appears that this particular line is also appearing somewhere after the age of this intersection is age 35. So this portion of the line, downward line on the headline, somewhere close to the age of probably 36, 37. So that's a little bit negative sign out here. And I need to add one last thing out here. You'd notice that the most prominent area of the whole palm in both the palms is this particular area. This is the area of Venus. Venus is the area of your desires. This is the area of sexuality. This is the area of sensuality. This is the area of your taste. This is the area of your energy, vitality, stamina, beauty, grace, warmth within this particular person. So person who has a prominent amount of Venus, this person has a prominent amount of Venus, this signifies that the person is going to be extremely warm, very cordial, and the person would be able to attract anybody towards himself. It could be partnerships or it could be relationships. It could be both ways. And the person always has the energy to do something or the other. People who have a prominent amount of Venus, padded amount of Venus, well padded amount of Venus, those people remain young throughout their life, and they never get tired. So a person who never gets tired, the chances of their success increases. So even when they get older, these people are still going to be having high energy levels and stamina and vitality. So we have taken the look at the left hand as well, a beautiful hand, a well structured hand. Try to understand one more thing, that hand hand lines are important, but more important is the hand structure. So a hand structure that is strong brings about strength to your whole life. It is something like a strong building with a strong foundation. So even if there are earthquakes, if there are flooding, if there's winds, high winds, that all these things are not going to kind of it's not going to affect the building at all. Same goes with the hand. If a person has got a strong structure, nothing is going to affect, even with any negative things happening in this particular person's life. The person is going to handle those things in a beautiful way. So in all, I would say a beautiful hand. That's it for now. Hope you liked this particular video. If you liked this particular video, click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. Bye and take care.